Alright, good evening again, guys, and welcome to another League of Legends YouPlays. I am Pat, the TwiZ Harrison, and casting alongside of me is going to be ClintLeetWood. You go ahead and start that replay, by the way. I'm up to like 17 seconds. But, Clint, this is your first time casting with E-Rev. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself before we get this match started?
Alright. Hey, guys. I'm ClintLeetWood. I am a previous strategy specialist off the site called GameReplays.org, and now a senior referee there. I've played LoL for quite a few months, and I'm actually playing competitively now under the team called Team OMG Ponies, and I've played a couple of NESL games.
Alright.
That's basically me.
Nice. Everybody knows me. I'm Pat, the TwiZ Harrison, one of the game managers for E-Rev TV. I also play competitive League of Legends on Team Tibbers, which you can watch some videos of us on the YouTube here as well. So, we have like a really good treat for you guys on this League of Legends YouPlays, as we have Bigfatjiji playing Veigar, taking on Chaox, who is Ashe. And these guys are going to be in middle against each other, I'm assuming. On the purple team, we're also going to have Double Lift rocking out Blitzcrank. Igata is going to be playing Tarek, Celeste Jr. is Warwick, and Satoshi is Ezreal. And Clint, why don't you go ahead and finish out the blue team for us here?
Alright, on Ashe we have Chaox, Mikako Tabe. I'm gonna take a guess that that is on Cho'Gath. Noobler is on Alistair. Reggie3K is on Zillion, and Dark Cloud V is on Amumu. I like both these teams, even though kind of a GG's pick here with veigar's little trolley, I think.
Yeah.
But, no, I really like both teams.
Definitely an odd pick here. And these guys, we're looking at lane assignments right now. Obviously, Warwick going to be in the jungle, Mumu going to be in the jungle for the blue team, Ezreal soloing the top lane. And now we're going to get to see all this action here as we're seeing GG and Chaox going to go at it in middle. And Tarek, Blitzcrank at the bottom lane. And for the blue team, their bottom lane should be Zillion Alistar. And we'll see Cho'Gath soloing the top here. So talk to us a little about early game strategy here and item builds.
You know, what's so interesting, though, is you see sometimes the AP carry, and in this case, their AP carry would be veigar, but you usually see that type of person sitting up on top farming away. So it's really interesting to see the AD and AP roles reversed here. I don't know if that really holds any significance, but I don't know, it's something interesting to note. And I think it's also interesting to note that we're going to have an Ezreal against a Cho'Gath, because that lane is just not fair at all. Cho'Gath should have no problem shutting that Ezreal down. And some really strong supports in both these teams. And we have Alistair and Zillion on Team Blue, and then, you know, Tarek on Team Purple. Both very solid supports, both very good at doing what they do, and both top-tier picks, I think.
Yeah, for sure, man. Like, I'm excited to see this, and I'm friends with Igata here. Definitely one of my buddies. I talked to him, tried to get in games with us, and we have Satoshi going down to the tower here. I believe I missed that up at the top lane, but he does go down to that.
That was not smart at all. I saw what he was trying to do. He was trying to stop a recall and Cho'Gath, but mistimes it looks like, and then just takes it takes a tower shot and takes a minion cannon minion rather, hitting him, and he just goes down.
So, basically, this is what's going to be cool is seeing GG and Chaox. These are probably two of the biggest known people here. Obviously, GG playing for CL Gaming, Counter Logic, and Chaox rocking out for Solo Mid. So, two rivalry teams here that we're going to see these guys duking it out in mid. So, I'm pretty excited about that. Bottom lane should be pretty interesting. The Blitzcrank Tarek is a great combination here. Blitzcrank can grab one of these good pulls to the tower, followed by a Tarek stun. We could possibly see First Blood coming out of it.
Absolutely agreed. I mean, there's also a lot of initiation on both sides there. I mean, we have an Alistair who is running Flash, so there is a lot of initiation potential there with Pulverize and Headbutt. And as you said, with the Tarek Blitzcrank combo, which is just nasty in itself.
So we're seeing Chaox going boots, 3 health potions in middle. Pretty common build that you're seeing out of a lot of the AD carries now, just because of the nerfs to the Doran's items that cost increase. GG countering him in the middle, picking up the Meki Pendant, and he's already picked up a couple health pots, but he's been forced to use those. And now we're seeing Mumu chasing after Ezreal here. Ezreal going to try to flash up and over this wall, but he does get stunned, and now we're seeing First Blood come out of Amumu there inside the Baron Pit, and looks like Ezreal tried to go for the flash, but Amumu grabbed that stun at the very last second and held him in there.
And then I gotta go ahead, goes and grabs a kill on Zillion on bottom with a Blitzcrank and Tarek combo, just really showing the damage there. It was really impressive what was happening down.
I'm glad you caught it, because I didn't. I was busy focusing on the Baron pit. It was our primary source of action right there, and it was pretty cool to see Ez there.
Good pull by Blitz! Oh, I saw that, and that poor Alistair wanted to get away, but it wasn't going to happen because Blitzcrank is running Flash and was able to make up for that distance after that pulverette. Really a solid play by that bottom lane, and as we said earlier, there is a lot of initiation potential from both of those teams, and as we saw right there, probably it comes down to positioning when it comes to winning that lane in terms of initiation potential.
So I can think we are desynced here. I'm at 550 right now. I'm
actually at 556.
Are you? Well, I guess we're not that bad. I pulled down, like, as you were talking about it, I was like, oh, nothing's going on here, and then, like, by the time I get down there, then all the action started happening, so we were able to catch it. So a little bit of a rundown on what we're looking at CS right now. Ashe doing a strong job up against veigar in middle. veigar only at 16 right now. Ashe already pulling 38 CS out of this, so he's, at this point, I would say he's winning the lane in middle right now. And Ezreal's definitely been put in a bad spot. He's only level 4, and that Cho'Gath's level 5, at least, possibly level 6 from that side lane.
Yeah, and I've actually had the pleasure to play against GG a couple times in some tournament games. And one game where he goes, Ashe was really impressive. He was a great Ashe. And, I feel it's almost kind of weird to see him being, I would say, outlaned in terms of CS and probably even harassment against an Ashe. I mean, he seems like such a player that's so comfortable with that hero. It's kind of weird to see him almost losing to it in this sense.
So he is at 39 AP already, so I guess that's a big thing to pay attention to. I mean, even if he gets less gold and he still gets a lot of successful Qs on those minions, that'll make up for it in the long run, so that has to be a prime focus there.
Absolutely. I mean, when it comes down to veigar, if you can get a certain amount of AP at a certain amount of time, and you rush your Rabadons and you get a blue pot, you're talking about possibly even 300 AP at like 18 minutes. That's insane. That's a lot of damage, especially on veigar's ratio.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that they would definitely look forward to carrying through the early game here, especially knowing that Ez is not going to be the most viable candidate in any team fights early on, just because he's being outlaned right now and out-leveled as well. So he's picked up 30 CS, and he's 0-2 right now. And now we're seeing Alistar come in on him, Amumu coming in as well, and he's just getting batted around. And this Ezreal is just going to go down. Amumu ult's going to hold him in place to make sure he doesn't get an opportunity to escape. And there he goes as he was taken down. The kill there going to Alistar. But that puts him at 0-3 right now.
Yeah. Poor Ezreal. That's all I can really say. I mean, Alistair is such an underrated hero, I think. He's such a good ganker, good roamer, good pusher, good everything.
Yep, I would definitely have to agree on that, as I've started playing Alistar a little bit more in our team comp, just after seeing a few games and seeing his power. But I guess we can't blame Ez on all this. I mean, he is being forced to a top lane, which just from picks alone, he was going to be put in a bad situation.
Yeah, absolutely agreed. And I don't know if there's really any way Ez can make a comfortable comeback without a gank in this type of situation, but we might actually see a gank coming down on middle. Yeah, Warwick coming. Lots of damage going down on Ashe, and Ashe is going down with Warwick picking up the kill.
Yeah, very solid there. That suppression, along with the giant black hole of doom that veigar just popped all over Ashe's face, definitely led him to a bitter end. Amumu's going to come to middle now and gather up a little bit of this farm and make sure that he's able to cover that. One key piece of advice here, try to never leave an open lane. You see him, even though he's got blue buff, Amumu still comes to cover this lane. He's going to gain a little bit more experience than he normally would in the jungle, and he's just going to hold it here to make sure that veigar doesn't get an opportunity to push and chip that tower away.
Yeah, and that's actually really solid to point out. I mean, there's a lot of junglers out there that, although they're self-sufficient in the jungle, they have troubles farming. For example, Shaco. I mean, if he doesn't get a couple kills early on, he's definitely in some trouble and underfarmed early on. So, I mean, even though that may not be the same for a Mumu, it's definitely solid to point out that that extra experience and that extra gold. Top tower actually goes down at the 9-minute mark. That's really bad. But as I was saying, that extra XP and gold for a Mumu is really going to help him. Really going to help him in the later game, even in the mid game as ganks become more important.
One thing that's odd to see is we're at 10 minutes in and we've yet to see any warding on Dragon, which is going to be a first in a lot of the games that I've done.
Well, I mean, we can't really see what Blue Team has done with warding, and I think they're more worried about Dragon. I mean, they have a Warwick. Mumu is a little more flaky and finicky when it comes to dragons, early dragons, but Warwick is a solid early dragoner. He just needs a little support and maybe even a tank to sit there and he can easily take it.
Yeah, good things to point out there. So, I mean, that's definitely keynotes to make sure you look at. But still, in most of the games, you do see it warded there a little early, just so nobody's able to sneak it in there.
Absolutely agree. Speak of the devil, Carrick now placing a ward at Dragon at the 10-minute and 58-second mark.
You're about 5 seconds ahead of me or so.
Wow, large gank going down on poor little Alistair there.
Yeah, again, we're just seeing a ton of damage go out here throughout these team fights. The Ashe arrow does come in. It's going to hit Warwick, but that's way too late to get him out of there. And you may want to pause for just a couple seconds here to catch up with me, Clint. I'm at 11:22 right now.
Alright, I'm at 11:29.
So now Amumu becoming their focus here, 11:31, so you should be good to go. Amumu kind of becoming their focus down here at the bottom lane, and looks like we're actually going to see these guys attempt to go for Dragon right now. Zillion coming around from the side, kind of scouting it out here. We're also seeing Cho'Gath and Ashe from the other side, so these guys are getting sandwiched in right now. Beginning to back out of Dragon here, and these guys are going to be forced out of this fight, as we're seeing Amumu coming in with them as well, going for a stun but missing it. So these guys now coming up into the jungle, and they need to really watch here and make sure that these guys don't come back and sneak this Dragon in. So now we're seeing them double back around. And they are going for it.
Yeah, and with Ezreal not there, it's going to be really difficult to... I mean, now he's starting to come down, but I don't know if he's going to be able to get there. But, yeah, that Blue Team has just gotten Dragon, giving them a solid lead above Purple Team. But something to note before that whole fight at Dragon erupted was that there was a purple ward down, and poor Ezreal's getting eaten alive, literally, in mid. Poor Ezreal just cannot find his pace in this game, and he's just going to be shut down constantly.
Yeah, so that puts him at 0-4 right now. So, strangely enough, the score is 4-3 in favor of the... Well, it's actually... It was a little odd. It's in favor of the Purple Team right now, because Ez did die early to that tower. I'd almost forgot about that, but he has the only 4 deaths that's on the Purple Team right now.
Well, that's actually not that bad. I mean, the kills are evenly spread out among members minus Ezreal. So there's a good gold spread there. I think that's something really important to note. But as I was saying earlier, there was a purple ward at Dragon because Amumu did come up and did start hitting the green ward at Dragon when Tarek placed it. If you didn't see that before, and no, Amumu did not have an Oracle, so. Just that important thing to note that, you know, team comps kind of do matter when it comes to early Dragon.
Yeah, I mean, they matter a lot of aspects in the game. So, yeah, we're seeing Cho'Gath taking some damage up here at the top lane as he's beginning to chase down Ezreal. Warwick up here as well. And Warwick in with his ultimate on him, but it's probably not going to be enough to do anything as he is now running away and these guys are backing out. So, all that hype up for nothing because Cho'Gath lives because he's probably got some stacks right now.
Shoutcast is such a wonderful hero. He is so survivable with those ruptures and screams. As you saw, he timed it just right so that rupture came up just as Warwick ulted on. So that was really well done. That is a sign of a good Shoutcast player.
Unless it wasn't done intentionally. Then we can just say that he got lucky. So now
I'll give these players the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah, we'll give him the benefit of the doubt. This is a much higher tier of LO than some of the stuff, even some of the ESL matches that we've casted. These are some very, very solid players that are in here right now, and you can definitely see it by their gameplay. Lots and lots of clairvoyances, keeping an eye on stuff as you notice here on my screen, and now we're beginning to see a lot of strong ward placement throughout the map here.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, wards and map awareness wins games. It's as simple as that. Sure, you can say team comp wins games, but I think the more direct reason would be, wards win games. If you know what the enemy team is doing at all times, they really can't do anything to you, right? So.
Yeah, dude, it's free map hacks. That's all it is. Like, hey, we have map hacks. Well, I guess they're not really free. They're 75 gold, but that's like super duper cheap.
Absolutely. And with the recent buff to it, you can actually carry 5 now. So there you go, figure. And poor Warwick is gonna get CC'd, just chain CC'd to death there.
Yep, and again, you have found yourself way ahead of me, because when you were talking about that, he was running down the jungle here. Oh my god, but look at how all of that burst damage that GG did, as he just completely annihilates Alistar. Actually, just drops all that burst onto him and he goes down. I'm at 1537 right now. So we're seeing Cho'Gath attempting to come in. He's trying to push these guys back so that Ashe is going to have a little bit more of an opportunity to take this tower down. The neutral creeps are gone, and Cho'Gath trying to run away from this stuff here. Tower beating away on him as well as on Amumu, and these guys trying to go in here. Blitzcrank trying to cut them off, but it's not going to happen. We're seeing the Rupture come up. Oh, barely missing here. Veigar dropping the stun down, and these guys barely getting away. All of them safely back towards the tower now. Oh, Blitzcrank does land that pull as we're seeing Cho'Gath pulled away from the tower. Amumu now following up here. Blitzcrank almost dead. His mana shield has come up, and he is now running for dear life.
Oh, Blitzcrank, you don't pull a tank. What are you thinking? Come on now, man. Oh, that was fun. That pull almost turned around and bit him in the ass there. It was kind of scary to see.
Yeah, nearly, man. I mean, that's like pulling Amumu in and watching him ult on your entire team.
Absolutely. I've had that happen to me in E-Rev a couple times before. It's not fun. I would hate to see it happen in one of these ranked or even normal games. Those matter so much more than in E-Rev, but, yeah.
I think we need to, like my opinion, we need to see a little bit of a buff on Blitz. I think Blitz should be given the pullback, like on Pudge, so you can pull your teammates. But I think that Riot's concept behind not doing that is I could see a lot of kids beginning to troll with that.
Lots of griefing would definitely ensue from that, and it also makes the hero a little bit easier and a little easier to pick up. I mean, Blitz is kind of hard to land the pulls to begin with if you've never played him before. But if you're not aware that you can accidentally pull your home friendly champions away, you might just be seen as a troll and get reported for whatever so and so reason.
Yeah, it happens. I used to love doing that with Pudge back in my Dota days. That and Earthshaker, too. Your teammate's trying to leave the well, you just drop it down there, and then you run away.
Pudge has to be, I think, my favorite hero next to Venomancer in Dota, but we might be getting a little off topic.
Yeah, we're not going to go off topic. We are on League of Legends, guys. League of Legends is our game today, not Dota, because we see Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath is not from Dota because they would never be cool enough to have, like, Cho'Gath. Oh, did you see that there in middle? We see the Ashe ult come around here, but GG blinks to the other side of it as it goes past him.
Oh, poor Tarek. Oh, I don't know if he's going to... There's no way he's going to be able to walk away from that alive.
He's like dipping out of here. Alistar coming in on him, and he does stun Alistar trying to get away, and he's possibly going to be going for this tower to kill him. Will the tower get the kill? Almost on him. Almost on him. Oh no, we're teleporting back. And no, he goes down to Zillion there. Like I seen it trying to recall there, and I'm sitting here clicking on the minimap trying to make sure that it stays on there without teleporting back to the well because of the replay.
Yeah.
And I barely got it back there to see exactly who was going to get the kill. So Zillion picking up the kill for that, and he's going to gather that gold. Good old gold for Zillion. He really needs it.
That right-click Zillion, man. That right-click Zillion.
So, actually, he's taking quite a bit of farm. Zillion at 51 CS. Alistar at 41, too. A lot more farm than what you normally see the support champions take. But I guess, you know what, they were laning together, so somebody has to gather it. Blitz already.
Yeah, and Blitz
81.
is actually a really hard champion to farm with, too. So, I mean, you might have just seen more opportunities to take.
So now we're going after the top tower here. We're seeing Blitzcrank going for it here as he is beating away on it. Everybody except for Zillion has gone missing on the map right now. What is going to happen to poor Blitzcrank up here as he is trying to get this tower down? Will he be doomed? Cho'Gath coming in, and we're seeing Cho'Gath with his Feral Scream rupture, and we're seeing Blitzcrank run away now as, oh my gosh, again he flashes over there. And I don't know if that was luck or not there, as I seen an Ashe Arrow go by and he flashes over the top of the Ashe Arrow. But he was able to dip out of there.
Training yourself to dodge those Ashe Arrows is so difficult sometimes, because sometimes Fog of War just doesn't allow you to see it until it's right in your face. And, you know, I think we've seen a lot of dodges here, and it's really solid. And Zillion might be going down, no, ulting himself on bottom, saving his life.
He is running away, so he's making sure that he gets out of there. But I don't like to dodge Ashe Arrows because that's pretty easy. Almost everybody can do that. I like to see how many I can run into. That's a lot more fun. You know, I'm one of those givers. You know, if I let this Ashe hit the arrow, he's going to be so excited on his vents or TeamSpeak or whatever, and he's going to go all crazy, and he's going to be like, "Yeah, I got my arrow, team. I did it for you." So we just got to give him that. So that's why I try to take as many Ashe Arrows to the face as I can.
I might have to start doing that. That sounds like fun. I can just imagine the all the excitement there. Oh, Blitzcrank missing a pole? I'm not entirely sure what just happened there. Sho'Gath just kind of stood there. It looks like the fist went right through him.
Yeah, that's what I had seen there as well. So a gathering of the purple team kind of towards middle lane. Now we're seeing Warwick and Blitz both going towards the bottom. Looks like they may be a little bit worried about Baron as they began to migrate towards that region of the map. Tarek with his oracles, clairvoyance up, and nobody is there. So I'm sure that they're going to begin to get that warded here, especially because Chaox has already farmed up 160 CS, and he's picked up his BF sword, couple Doran's blade, brutalizer, pickaxe, so he's almost to his IE at this point.
Yeah. 21-minute Infinity Edge combined with those items that he's already running with is really good, actually. He has a Brutalizer on top of that and 2 Doran's Blade. Oh, and GG finding him. Oh, just getting misplaced and getting initiated upon with the Ashe Arrow. There's not really much you can do about that. It just kind of has to happen some.
Yeah, these guys have a really strong tower diving team, too, with Alistar.
Absolutely. I mean, combined with the stun and the slows and just there's 3 stuns, a knock-up, a slow, a continued slow from a hero that can just kite all day. Yeah, no, it's a great tower diving team. Just an absolutely wonderful tower diving team. Oh, Blitzcrank might be out of position here and not liking where he ends up. Although I think he might just be okay.
He's like juking around there, like left and right, and just running circles around these guys here. And we may see him possibly.
Poor Blitzcrank has to go down.
I don't know. I think he might survive it here. Almost dead. Almost dead. Nope, he does go down. So he has died. Alistar running away with very little health. We're seeing the headbutt go on to Warwick there, so that's pushing him back. Tarek going down as well here, and that's Mumu picking up these kills. They now began to chase down Warwick. Warwick at very low health. GG coming in to save the day! Doesn't do it! He takes down a Mumu! And Cho'Gath, the only person left really in this fight, well, he's at very low health too. And he goes down as somehow GG kills him, I think with just a regular right click.
Yeah, GG coming in saying, "Oh hey, it's just me," and then getting a double kill. That Deathfire Grass, I think, was actually really useful against that Cho'Gath. I mean, that's a really solid pickup for Veigar. Especially for... I think it's a solid pickup for any single target mage, actually.
Yeah, so let's give a quick rundown of some of the items here since we should be at that point. Gigi does pick up that Deathfire Grass. Now he's added on a needlessly large rod and a blasting wand, so lots of AP coming out of him at this point. Blitzcrank picking up the Sheen that's going to go towards his Triforce. Looks like Chaox began to build his Aegis as he's picked up the Ruby Crystal for that. Warwick with the Wriggles Lantern, very, very common item. Spirit Visage on here as well, and Ezreal barely making his way through. Is actually, you know what? He has 100 CS right now. Doing a little bit better after that rough start that he got. He's kind of turtled his way back into this, I think.
Yeah, he's been actually sitting up top, farming his farming away while the team has been fighting at Dragon, or as we saw the little exchange down at bottom lane almost. So no, I think he's getting himself back into the game. He's still behind, obviously, but I think he can start doing some damage and start being in team fights and be useful.
So why stuff has started slowing up here? Just so you guys know, like today is Friday what's the date? The 4th, and we're actually 1 week away from PAX East, which I'm super excited about. I will be there. I'm flying in Friday. Yeah, I'm flying in Friday morning. And I believe Hotshot's actually, Hotshotjiji is going to be rooming with me at the hotel, so I'm going to get a really good interview out of him. I'm going to force him to do like an amazing interview with me, since he's going to be chilling in our hotel with us. But it should be a really good event. But we do see Tarek going down at the bottom lane here. I don't want to miss out on all the action. I did keep the camera on it. So Tarek goes down. But anyways, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff from there and uploading stuff to the E-Rev TV site. So it should be good. Otherwise, if you're going to be at PAX East, feel free to like comment to this YouTube video here and let us know, and we'll make sure that we meet up with you there, and maybe we can go and have some beers if you're old enough, and go from there. Are you going to PAX, Clint? Or I think you're like really far away.
Yeah, I'm actually in Arizona. That's a bit too far away from me, sadly. I would love to. I mean, I would love to see more competitive gaming and just a competitive scene in the Americas, but you know, we're a little bit lagging behind against the Europeans, I think.
So another dragon being grabbed here by the blue team. This is like their second one, I believe.
I think it might be actually the third. Don't quote me on it, though. But on that Terra kill, what I was talking about is there is that, you know, that Ashe arrow that can be sometimes abused by the Fog of War and just make it really hard to dodge it. And as you can see, Tarek really had no forewarning of that Ashe arrow coming in and just kind of hit him.
Down goes Zillion. He does have his ultimate up now, and we're seeing these guys begin to chase him down as he's attempting to run away here, trying to kite these guys around the tower, but he does go down. Alistar peeking from the side. Ashe arrow coming in way too late. Nobody going to hit that, and Alistar going to be running back there, and doesn't want any piece of that fight, man.
Just do a quick time sync with me. I'm at 26:30.
I'm at 26:26. So we might need just a couple seconds. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37. You good now?
Yep. Right on time with.
Perfect. Usually I'm always the one that's faster.
Also, yeah, I don't know what's up with the replay system. It's weird, I guess, sometimes. Just something to note about the jungling potential for both of these teams is, yeah, you have Warwick, which can really allow some early dragons and barons, but they also, blue team has a Cho'Gath, which, if you think about it, combined with the Moonless Smite, is a second smite. You're talking about 1,000 true damage for any minion on the map. That is really, really, I don't know, I would say that's really huge, especially when you're trying to steal Baron, perhaps.
Yep. And we're seeing a Mumu. Looks like these guys have the top, the Baron pink warded as well, as we're seeing a Mumu take that down.
Yeah, Chaox's team, Team Blue, is just on top of the warding game.
Yeah, these guys have been steady throughout the event, making sure that they're putting these wards down, and not going cheap either. No green wards for them. Pink all the way, baby. Trying to get a little dirty there.
All day, every day.
My grotesque old man humor. I always call myself old because I honestly feel like I'm 24 right now, and I feel like it's 24 being a gamer that makes me old. Like, I'm a veteran. Like, I'm a year from retiring, probably.
Man. are you familiar with any... Oh, actually, before I get into that, Team Blue is actually attempting Baron, but the CV is going to scare them off. As Cho'Gath gets knocked into a bad position, and Ashe Arrow comes in, Ezreal getting a lot of damage thrown onto him. Blitzcrank picking up the kill on Cho'Gath. And Ezreal's getting out alive. Warwick may not... no, he's not, and I don't think this team just has enough sustained damage, especially with Ezreal being shut out that quickly. But it doesn't matter because GG almost 3 shots at Zillion. Wow.
GG up to 560 AP at this point. 29 minutes in the game. Pretty impressive, IMO.
That is, yeah, that's really good. That's way ahead of where he should be, I think. I'm just waiting for him to get that blue pot. That, combined with the Rabadons, is quite a bit of extra AP.
And you know what? I think he's been running one most of the game. I think it's actually just came to a point where it's wore out. I've seen him blue potted up pretty much since he's picked up that Rabadons. As he's now level 17, so almost getting all the use out of it. We're seeing Blitzcrank trying to chase him down here. He does get the pullback, and that's going to put a Mumu in a spot that he doesn't want to be in, as they're now chasing him down. Ezreal blinking over, and he's going to Q. Will he get this? Missing a Q shot there. Blitzcrank chasing him down into there, and Blitzcrank does kill him.
Yeah, and actually, GG really shutting down Ashe, and with Warwick respawn, they are going to attempt a Baron. Or actually, no, they're not going to attempt a Baron. Pings were going out, but GG is saying back and stop. Does not want to go for it, which I would totally agree with. The team is incredibly low and very weak.
Especially because I don't know if you had seen this, there's a Clairvoyance that got dropped onto it as well, so the blue team knew what was going to be going on there.
Map awareness games.
So back to some more item talk here. I love talking about items throughout this stuff because that's what a lot of people tend to care about. Interesting thing here, Cho'Gath picking up Abyssal Scepter. Very, very strong item on him, as it does give him some AP and some magic resistance. So it's a super strong early item for him, especially whenever you've got a Veigar farming like it is. So definitely good counter pick on an item there. And looks like he might possibly be going for, at this point, Force of Nature as well. And now we're seeing a little bit more of a mingling going on around the Baron. These guys just back and forth from this Baron.
In fact, you can actually see almost everyone on blue team is running a Negatron Cloak, wanting to get their magic resist up so they can just survive veigar 3-shotting them. You know, that's really saying something. I mean, we see that GG is absolutely pulling out the perfect example of an AP carry in this game.
And what we're probably going to see is a lot of Banshee's Veils too. I mean, with Blitzcrank and GG, it would be a little crazy not to go with the Banshee's Veil this game. I mean, all 5 champions go with Banshee's Veils, I would predict.
And I don't know if you saw all those, but did you see all those knockups when Warwick tried to hop into that bad initiation attempt? I don't know what entirely Warwick was thinking, but GG literally 3 shots, not Warwick, Cho'Gath, and is trying to get out of it. Being caught by Alistair, oh, poor thing, it's just gonna melt away to Chaox and
Yep, we're seeing GG able to barely escape out of there and get away from there. And no, looks like he does go down. Wow, he's caught inside there. I thought he was actually free from that, but nope, he goes down to Chaox and the rest of the team there. So Chaox now 5-2-3. He's picked up his Banshee's Veil already, as well as his Infinity Edge, Brutalizer, Boots of Swiftness, and a couple Doran's Blades. And these guys are now going to be taking down their second meta tower. So at this point, blue team ahead slightly on towers here. I believe they're, what, 2 towers ahead? Yep, 2 towers.
Yeah, 2 towers ahead.
2 towers and 3 dragons. So just imagine all of that global gold that these guys have picked up here.
Yeah, and it actually really shows because the whole team is pretty much afforded a Negatron Cloak, and just to counter that veigar. And I think that actually really paid off in that fight, because after GG died, he did pick up his Void Staff to counter that. So I don't know. Maybe that fight would have been a little bit different if he did have that Void Staff before that fight.
So one thing that I want to mention here, and the reasoning behind this is, look at Alistar's item. Alistar picking up Shirelia's Reverie. That is going to be perfect later on in this game whenever everything's based onto Vigor's stun and dropping that black hole down. If that's placed at the right time during a team fight, getting everybody away from that, that's going to be a lot less damage that these guys are taking as a team. So it's all going to be whether the Shirelia's Reverie is used at the right time, because it's a key item right now in this game.
And look at if you look at the chat, the team is talking about protecting Veigar. They are realizing who their carry is in this game and who's going to keep them in this game if they can keep them alive. And that is GG playing Veigar.
So is it just
see
me,
how
or
these next few fights go?
Did his AP actually go down here? He's at 458. They never picked up Baron earlier. Oh no, 595. Alright, sorry, I was seeing him at 458. I'm like staring at my screen and it's showing 458, and then all of a sudden it just flies up to 595.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before. I think that's a client-side issue, not very sure. Interesting choice on Cho'Gath, and I don't know if I like it at all, but he has grabbed a Warmog. I don't know about you, but I don't like a Warmog this late into the game. I feel it's almost,
definitely not. And this is just my opinion. I'm not a huge fan of Warmogs anyway. Its cost is quite high for what it does, especially because it doesn't have any resists. So, yeah, it gives you a good, strong buffer, but with no resists against certain champions, it's just your health is just going to drop down. So, there's plenty of ways in this game to counter a lot of health. So I think some items with some resist would have been a lot better. I think maybe that Banshee's Veil already would have been a better choice.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think Banshee's Veil, or maybe even a Force of Nature, would have been helpful, because you're talking about that Shirelia's Reverie giving movement speed out to, dodge those black holes. So, that extra movement speed from Force of Nature might just even help that Cho'Gath stay alive. So.
And they are beginning to think into this later game, and one reason that I point that out here, mainly because of Ezreal. So Ezreal's beginning to get farmed. We see him picking up his Black Cleaver now, along with the pickaxe, which I'm pretty sure he's going to build this pickaxe into his Last Whisper. But we're seeing a Mumu now picking up his Glacial Shroud, which is going to be built into that Frozen Heart. So that's going to be something that's going to slow Ezreal down later on in this game.
And a really poor initiation choice by Ashe, completely whiffing that arrow. Team realizing this, that their initiation potential is a little bit lacking with the lack of an arrow. So let's see what happens in this next. Although I actually don't think much will happen, because Blitzcrank is pushing bottom and has requested his team to not engage. That's pretty good right there. Blitzcrank almost trying to even up the tower score. So that's always good. That's the loss of the increase of global gold will make up for what the team has lost in terms of dragons and towers.
Yeah, definitely, man. Sorry, I was reading some Skypeage going on here. So I was like spamming away at my Skype, and I'm like, well, this is getting annoying. Ezreal grabbing red buff here. Clairvoyance going out on Baron, which is Ashe was actually working her way towards that area there. And then
yeah, it looks like.
Yep, go ahead, man.
It looks like this whole team fights, or this whole game is going to be hinging upon that Baron, as they are aware that the enemy team will try and sneak this, so they're going to attempt to ward it and keep it off with that Blitzcrank initiation, really forcing that enemy team out of there. That really scares them.
Yep, as we are seeing them back. We did see Blue Team Clairvoyance, the red up here, which was going to give them the idea, or give them the line of sight for that. And it looks like they've dropped a ward down here as well. So we're seeing a lot of warding going on here. Cho'Gath pushing up into the fight, pushing Ezreal back, as well as pushing GG back. And these guys all now going middle. So we do. Again. We see Ashe with his Banshee's Veil. We see a Mumu picking up the Banshee's Veil as well here. And who else is building towards one? Let us see. I'm guessing that we're seeing Alistar building towards one, and maybe now Cho'Gath's going to start looking at one as well.
You
Blitzcrank.
might even see Zillion pick one up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zillion pick one up. Wow, Blitzcrank flashing away just in time so he doesn't get grabbed by that Amumu stun. And again, these guys are back at Baron. A lot of the action here going on at Baron as they are going for it again. Blitzcrank with the pull, and that does draw Amumu out, and we're going to see Amumu drop down at the hands of this team here. He does get his ultimate off, but that's not going to be enough for them to do this. The fight now being 4v5, and we're seeing the blue team forced back away from this. Warwick does go in after the Banshee's Veil had been popped on Ashe. Goes in on top of her. We're seeing Ezreal poking from the sides here. Blitzcrank and Tarek both inside here doing some damage. Blitzcrank going down from all that burst that just hit him there. GG now attempting to run away from this, but he is able to take down Chaox before all this happens. And now we see Sataji and Tarek going after Cho'Gath. And Cho'Gath trying to run away here as he sped up from Zillion. Warwick coming in onto him, and he may go down. He's got very little health as these guys are chasing into the tower. And looks like he's going to actually possibly survive this. And we're seeing Ezreal QW, and they've decided to commit themselves to this fight. And down goes Zillion. And now we're going to see Ezreal and Warwick possibly both going to chase over here and go for this. Nope, I think they both... oh, wait, Ez still is trying to go for it, but Ez does go down to the tower here. So he gets ruptured and silenced.
Oh, wow. He got ruptured and a bug occurred. A rare little knockout bug where you just get knocked up hundreds of feet in the air and have to tank the tower and sit there with like a 4-second stun. It's really weird. I've had trouble recreating it, but it occasionally happens. That's really unfortunate. I mean, it looked like Ezreal was able to pull that dive off.
So Baron still remaining untouched here, as both these teams have attempted to go for it, and it has yet to happen. And we now see Amumu possibly going up here with Alistar, and maybe these guys are going to... These guys are in here on Baron. I don't know what their whole goal of this is, but they definitely can't sustain enough damage long enough to really take him down. Amumu moving out of the way.
Amumu not wanting to get pulled.
Yeah. Amumu moving away from that, but this should indicate to them that these guys are here. And I feel that right now they're overstaying their welcome as we see Amumu with half health. Blitzcrank trying to go in here. He's now moving out of the way from that arrow from Ashe. Ashe not able to hit that initiation. Cho'Gath coming up from the other side here, being quickly taken down to half health by all the damage that GG's just putting out on him. Baron down to about half health, and now they've managed to catch Cho'Gath. But he does get ultimated by Zillion, so he's going to be popping right back up here. And we see a black hole come down right on top of him as he spawns. And those guys taken down. Alistar trying to push both of these carries out of the fight. Amumu nearly dead. Tarek trying to chase down Ashe, who I believe cleansed. Did Ashe pick up cleanse? Yeah. Cleansed herself out of that stun. And down goes this team. And now they begin to put all their pressure onto Alistar. Alistar trying to run away from the middle lane. And we're just seeing Ezreal poke from the side. And down he goes. And that was 3 of these guys going down, and now they have to choose whether they want to push or Baron. What choice do you make here?
You know, I just have to say this Blitzcrank is winning them the game. But right now, I would say go for Baron and start pushing. You have the time, and that Baron's going to give you an extended advantage in team fights for future engagement. So I'm going to just go right for Baron and then go right for pushing.
So we are already 41 minutes into this game, and what's really weird about this is Veigar has nearly completed his build. He looks like he's picking up a Banshee's Veil, and that's all that he has to have, and he is going to be at his items right now. 683 his current AP right now. So once he picks up that Banshee's Veil, is that what he does? Oh, sorry, he does pick up Banshee's Veil. No, he's got one more item left. One more. What will be his next item?
I would probably go with Zanya's Hourglass, maybe.
I would say
like it.
Maybe Zanya's Hourglass, but I always feel that with this much damage, it's almost worth going Lichbane because that's just so much damage that you get in an extra hit there.
Yeah, I've seen that too. I actually really like that choice. I see it a lot on an AP TF build, so it makes sense for Veigar to do it. You know, that's a lot of actually pushing potential added to Veigar too, if you think about it.
And I mean,
shotting towers.
I mean, he does have that couple seconds. Like, let's say he goes into a fight, he pops DFG, he pops his skills. He's still got enough time for 1 or 2 right clicks in the middle of all of that to actually before his CDs are up. So that's just an extra big nuke that he's going to get on top of the damage he's already putting out. So now we're seeing again another fight happening here at middle as we're seeing Blitzcrank attempting to run away from this, and it looks like he does.
Man, this Blitzcrank, even though he was in a bad position there, is on top of his game. I have to say, like, he is... GG's doing the damage, and Blitzcrank's setting up the kills. That's what it feels like right now.
Yeah, and if you look at the chat here, he does make a really good point. Let's not waste Baron. And then he says, beep over Ashe ASAP. And we can all guess what those 4 stars could possibly stand for there. And I don't mean I don't think it means give candy to Ashe every fight. Or free hugs for Ashe. I'm thinking Blitzcrank has something a little bit more dangerous in mind.
I don't know, man. Warwick might be able to give a hug to Ashe. You never know.
Free hugs for Ashe. Let's hug Ashe. Free candy. Look at this. Roam. Roam. Blitzcrank, the roaming robot. He's not a gnome. Which is actually who I booked my flight from, was Travelocity. With the roaming gnome.
A roaming golem gathers no rust.
Yes.
Words have never been truer.
But look at this! Who is he going to pull here? He can choose between either Cho'Gath, or Cho'Gath for his next pull until one of these Banshee's Veils get popped. So not a lot of selections on the menu right now for Blitzcrank. He's like, what the heck? There's nothing I can do. Who am I gonna pull? And this is really where you might want to see an Ezreal ultimate just roll through that to initiate this. And that's going to give him the opportunity to do a pull and do a setup.
Oh, some good initiation coming down on top tower. Although Alistair taking a ton of damage from Black Hole off of veigar.
Oh my gosh.
It looks like actually GG might be going into Zhonya's Hourglass because he has picked up another needlessly large rock.
Yep, so he will be going
survivability battle.
He will be going to Zhonya's Hourglass. So definitely nothing wrong with that as we see him 2 ticks shy of 800 AP damage right now, or AP.
Yeah, all he needs is a blue bar. He's set.
And he is set. But their Baron buff nearly run out here. These guys are going to be trying one more time here for an opportunity to take advantage of this Baron buff. Their initiative is too strong, is what Blitzcrank says. We need to bait their CC out. So he's coaching his team here on what to do.
And I would be listening to him because he's been doing a darn good job at winning these team fights and setting up kills for his team.
And he now goes to the bottom tower. He's like, screw this stuff. I'm just going to go kill the bottom tower. And just so you know, he's putting out 145 damage a hit. He has finished up his Trinity's Force. Banshee's Veil picked up a couple Heart of Gold, so he has some pretty steady income coming in at this point. Let's see exactly what happens here. As the tower does go down, all the Banshee's Veils are still up, so he's not going to be given a strong chance to initiate into this. And now he's like, hey guys, guess what? We're going to go middle now.
Yeah, this team is really showing how mobile they are. Oh, and look at that. Veigar's AoE stun popping a couple Banshees village. Might be what this team needs.
Yep, I think you pulled just a couple seconds ahead. 46 minutes. 46:01. 02. 03. 04. 05. 06. 07. 08. Did you get caught back up?
I'm at 12 right.
Alright, we should be good. I'm at 46:16. So Warwick with Sunfire Cape. How common is that item built? Because I don't see it too often, man.
I don't know. That's really interesting. I mean, I just kind of expect something like, you know,
Madrids?
You get your Madred's Blood Razor. Yeah, and then you get your Banshee's Veil, you get your Guardian Angel, and you get your... well, before that, you get your boots, and then you're just kind of set for the game, and you can initiate whenever you want to.
Yeah, and he hasn't picked up a Banshee's Veil or a Madrid, so...
I don't know. I mean, he's really, really tanky, and Ashe can't hit him. And he could do some decent damage, I think, so it may work.
Maybe. We'll have to see here. As never in my life have I seen so many Banshee Veils.
Let's count them, shall we?
Yeah. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of the 10 players in this game have Banshee's Veils. The players that do not are Warwick, Tarek, and Cho'Gath.
That is a lot of Banshee's Veil. That's going to make it hard to initiate. Unless, of course, they can pick off a Cho'Gath or something like that.
Or unless Alistar decides he wants to try to initiate in. We're seeing a Mumu then trying to come in and follow that up, and didn't get put into a good situation where he could drop that ultimate down. So they have chosen not to go in at this point. Alistar still floating way, way deep into this fight. A lot of the Banshee's Veils are popped here, and there's a stun from veigar, and that's going to be followed right up with a ton of damage as the Mumu drops down, but he is ultimated by Zilean. He's trying to come back to life here, immediately knocked back up by Blitzcrank. Arrow from Ashe coming in and basically blasting Warwick in the face, and there's no such thing as dodging that insta arrow.
Oh man, that was what this team needs. They need to bait that CC out, just as Blitzcrank said, and they did exactly that, and now they will probably get a tower out of this. And, I don't know, I'm going to assume they're going to get a tower out of this, and yeah, a Cho'Gath kill. Oh, Chug.
And now he's
Cho'Gath's
stunned, and then he's pulled, and now he is down to about half health. Blitzcrank being forced to run off to the side here. Middle tower does drop down, and now these guys are put with an option as to whether they want to continue pushing or whether they want to double back and try to pick up the Baron buff.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough choice. But it looks like they're going to commit right to Baron. Which... I think both ideas are solid. With an Umu down, you can either Baron or push, and I think both of them work out. And they're both in their own regard.
And we do see the blue team now migrating through their jungle here, and they are heading towards the Baron buff. And if they end up getting too far here and that Baron goes down, they might be in trouble, but no, they're backing early enough here so that they're not going to be worried about getting caught by this team and basically destroyed because now they do have Baron.
Something to really note there was the positioning of Purple Team's heroes. You had veigar with the Banshee's Veil out the furthest. So that means if an Asher were to come in and try and steal Baron when he's low, it would just be absorbed by GG's Banshee's Veil. And that's really, really smart. And that's what really starts to make higher ELO players better, is little tweaks to gameplay like that.
Or he could have just been standing there because that's the first place that he ran to.
Oh, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Okay, we can do that. Great job to GG on that one. What an amazing play, standing there and blocking Baron, and all sorts of protection from that arrow, and that's what's going to make this game right here, folks, was that one moment where he knew exactly what he was doing with that Banshee's Veil. I think that worked pretty well. I think he's going to enjoy it.
I think so too.
Now's the time where you ask him if you tell him that you want to have his babies.
GG, I want your baby. Please let me have them.
All right. Well, we're going to try to keep this a little more PG rated here. None of that dirty stuff going on. These guys with Baron. And does GG finish up his... Yeah, he's got his Zonia's Hours class now. 899 AP, and that's fully potted here. Pull from Blitzcrank, it does grab it, and we see a Mumu being brought out. Ashe Arrow coming in and eating Warwick's face off. As he takes out a Mumu trying to commit to this fight, and he does bring his ultimate as he was near death. And Mumu going down again. Zilean using that ultimate on him, but they're going to continue to focus him as he does go down. And we can see that the carry Ashe was forced out of this fight. Blitzcrank immediately getting rid of him so that he's not able to sit there and continuously put damage down. The tower going after Blitzcrank. He's now running away. Ashe at very, very low health. Alistar at low health as well. GG running off to the side here. We're going to see Alistar going down at the hands of GG. Oh, and barely missing that pull from Blitzcrank, and that would have pulled Cho'Gath out, and that would have definitely meant instant doom for him. But this team in a great position where they can now push up here and gather this tower and inhibitor, as we are 51 minutes, 48 seconds into this game, and it could be GG, because they could go all the way. But maybe not.
I just don't know what that Amumu. He was overextended, obviously, and then just allowed him to be baited in by a Blitzcrank pull. I don't know. It feels like Amumu is just being sloppy right.
So Ezreal dying there, Taric using a defensive stun, along with, oh my god, all this damage going on to Cho'Gath. Cho'Gath does pick up that Force of Nature, so now he not only does he have 4,241 health, he also has that strong Force of Nature on top of it. Imagine if he was able to sustain some stacks, what this team would be looking like. So the Zillion Ult going on to Chaox already here. Blitzcrank possibly going to go down here. Chaox targeting him here. Taric being forced to run away from this fight. Will Blitzcrank survive here as he is trying to run? Rupture going up the wrong way, and he is dipping out here away from Cho'Gath. Ashe trying to chase him down as well, and now we're going to see the knock-up here. He has very, very low health, juking the stun from Amumu. Running away, going and going and going. Cho'Gath barely behind him along with the rest of the team. Ashe arrow missing as well, and his Banshee's Veil does come up, and he is going to get out of here safe, man. Oh my god.
See, this Blitzcrank, I just focus on him for a second. This guy is winning the game right now. I don't see if there's any way anyone can deny that. He is roaming, diving deep, and then getting out with some miracle escapes. Just great play by him overall in this whole game.
And he has a fabulous skin. Alright, so the score 22-19, as you can see in your top right corner there of the screen. And these guys have began to finish out the builds. Yes, Veigar is completely finished out, sitting at 856. Baron has wore off, so he's at 856 AP at this time. Chaox finishing up, he does have his IE finished up Yomu's Ghostblade. The Black Cleaver, Last Whisper, and Banshee's Veil, so he is capped on items at this point. And looks like Cho'Gath picks up a Guardian's Angel. So the entire team now, the entire blue team, having Guardian's Angels at this point.
Entire blue team rolling Guardian.
So we might have been seeing a fight up there at the top lane, but looks like both teams beginning to separate. Let me get Razor, please, is what Warwick says as he's beginning to teleport out, possibly, to go buy his Blood Razor.
Blitzcrank saying, "Okay, like, literally all 5 of them have Banshee's Veil." It's bleeping annoying. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, I'm going to censor out that word there with my cursors. I'm, like, waving it back and forth over it. I hope that's some good censorship. I can just put it right there. Oh, no, now I got to move. This isn't good. All right, let's just put on his point of view, and then there we go. Now I've got it censored out. And we're moving on Blitzcrank here. Blitzcrank
looks like
going balls deep again as he's began to roam the rest of the blue team's jungle here on his own.
Yeah, that's actually, he's going to go grab red and steal some buffs, which is really solid to do. I mean, when you have this much pressure going down middle lane, one thing you can solidify your advance with, or solidify your advantage with, rather, is stealing their buffs.
So are we possibly going to see some initiation? Maybe, maybe not. little bit of action happening in the middle, but it looks like a lot of it going on in the woods right now as we're seeing 3 people beginning to chase after Blitzcrank. The rest of the team pushed off here, and right now we're going to see the rest of these guys in the middle, right between where all this is, as Blitzcrank is running around to the side. Alistar choosing to attempt to go in on GG here. That does pop his Banshee's Veil, but he's going to get grabbed by that stun, and he's going to eat all of that damage. And again, we're seeing Warwick taking another one of those Ashe arrows. He was just loving them today, and Chaox being immediately focused by Blitzcrank, and that's exactly what he's going to have to do, is act in roles an anti-carry, and that's going to get him out of the fight. Blitzcrank, or Ashe does go down here. Alistar going to be the next one that drops down here as well. And that's going to pick up a double kill for Ezreal, as we're seeing Ezreal now putting out some damage, like 300 damage a hit right now, just putting it all out. Blitzcrank coming in there as well. 4 people going down, and this looks like it could possibly be good game for him, as we are now 1 hour into this match. What do you think? Is it over here?
I don't see them coming back from that. And Cho'Gath cannot hold up forward hero. You know, the Alistar made a bad headbutt, and it pushed Warwick right onto Ashe with left. So basically, Warwick was able to sit right on Ashe's face, and Ashe had to flash away. And there goes Cho'Gath, and that's.
Yep, and not to mention that Blitzcrank did come around from the side there and instantly focused Ashe as well to get Ashe out of that fight the entire time. So good job by him there, making sure that she wasn't going to sit back there and cherry pick some champion kills. But you guys, this is over. So thank you guys for watching again. Comment below, rate below. If you got any suggestions, make sure you toss those in there. If you're heading to PAX East and you want to meet up with me, toss in there and I'll send you a message on YouTube, something like that. Otherwise, subscribe up top. And we are out, guys. Again, I'm Pat the TwiZ Harrison, co-casting alongside of me today, ClintLeetWood, one of our new casters here at E-Rev TV. So any parting words that you want to do here, Clint?
A really fun match. I really enjoyed this. Some solid play by both teams. That's all I can say. Some solid play. Really competent play. So, really fun match.
All right, well, we are out, guys, and adios.